Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kia. Hey. So today I wanted to give a story time about the time I went to jail. And yeah, so let's get right into it. It was a few years ago. I'm gonna say about 4 years ago. I had met this guy off of Tinder, and we were texting for about a month or two before we finally decided to meet each other. So it was one day out the blue because it took so long for us to meet because he was into construction and he was currently out of town. But while he was taking that time to be out of town, you can use that time to get to know one another, and like that's what we did. So we took the time to know one another, and eventually he came back home. Eventually he came back home and he asked me out on a date. And so of course, I said yes. And so he lived about 30 to 40 minutes away, he lived in Baton Rouge, and I live like I said, 30 to 40 minutes away. So on our first date, it was nice, y'all. It was really nice. We went to Chimes, and we went to a park, and just walked around and talked, and we went to a swimming pool. We went to go swim and things like that. It was just a lot of little different things that we did. And so to start the day off, so he comes to pick me up or whatnot. So like I said, we did go out to dinner, and we just did different little things throughout the day. And in Louisiana, a big thing that a lot of us like to go out and do is get daiquiris. I noticed that a lot of states don't have drive-through daiquiris and stuff like that like we do and things. So we went to go get daiquiris, and I couldn't go into the place because I didn't have my ID. So I didn't have my ID, and so he had to go in for me because this particular daiquiri shop didn't have a drive-through, and it was in Baton Rouge where he was from. I'm not from there, and this was his favorite one. So he had to go in for me, and when he went in, he asked me, was there a particular one that I just didn't like? And so I did tell him strawberry. I don't like strawberry daiquiris. I just don't. And so so he went inside, and then he texted me. He was like, are you sure you don't want a strawberry daiquiri? And I told him no, I don't want to I don't want a strawberry daiquiri. Please give me anything else other than a strawberry daiquiri. So he comes out, and when he comes out, typical guy move, guess what he got me? A strawberry daiquiri. Y'all, he got me a strawberry daiquiri, and he was so upset. Hold on, I don't want to adjust myself on camera. Hold on, you guys. Just give me a second, I'm sorry. But anywho, so yeah, so typical fashion of a guy, they don't listen. He went and got me a strawberry daiquiri, and of course, me already saying that I did not like strawberry daiquiris, it just didn't work out. And you guys, I'm a person who, I'm the type of person, I speak up for myself. Yeah, I very much speak up for myself. I don't just let people, for example, if I say I don't like something, and or if I don't want you to do anything, or if I don't feel comfortable in a space or an area, I'm going to let you know. And if I tell you and you don't get the energy, or you try to brush me off, then I'm just make an exit plan on my own. So what happened? So yeah, he got the strawberry daiquiri, and when he got it and I didn't want it, he had an attitude. He had a real bad attitude, and it was just what? And this was the first time in the day that he just, you know how when it's the first day, everybody try to play it all cool and nice or whatever like that. And so this was he kind of spazzed on me over a strawberry daiquiri. And I was I'm still not going to drink it. Excuse me, guys. I'm still not going to drink the daiquiri. it's okay. Like, it's not even a big deal. Let's not make it into a big deal. Let's not let it ruin our day. So, like, he really had an attitude about that, you guys. Like, he really did had an attitude about that. Like, so what happened? Oh yeah, okay, so boom. So he had an attitude. So he went and we went to the gas station and he pumped his gas or whatever like that. And he was giving me the silent treatment the whole time. So after that, we went to go get my stuff because I had a bag of stuff because, of course, like I said, we went swimming and we did other things throughout the day. And so I had bought extra clothes for the time we went swimming and the time that, like, we went on our date and stuff like that. So boom, we go to the stuff and he get my stuff and I'm just like, okay, well, if he want to have a funky attitude, like, I don't have to say nothing either, like, you know. And so we driving, and like, I'm noticing a police officer, like, that's behind us. Like, he's behind us, but I didn't, like, it wasn't a big deal for me because I was just like, okay, like, it's a police officer behind us. But next thing you know, boom, as soon as we hit the highway, like, to go towards, like, Denham Springs. If you're from Louisiana, you know what I'm talking about. Like, there's, like, this shopping center in Denham Springs. So we pulled over at the shopping center and we sitting there, and I'm just sitting there all confident and stuff like that because I'm not thinking that we have anything. I'm not thinking that we're just gonna, like, you know. And so the cop pull us over and ask us questions and stuff like that. So next thing you know, 2 more cars pull up. Like, 2 more cars pull up, and like, it was kind of okay. So this is where I kind of knew that the trouble was going to start because the officer, he lied. Okay, so when he walked up to the car, he was like, oh, well, it smells like you guys been smoking in here and this and this and that and yada yada yada. So mind you guys, I don't know about anybody else, but I don't know, like, if I know that something is illegal in a particular state, I'm not gonna, like, for example, I wouldn't smoke in a car knowing that it's illegal, and then, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, knowing, especially if we're driving and we can get pulled over, like, I'm not gonna do that. I'd rather, like, smoking, like, in the comfort of my own home or, like, somewhere comfortable where I don't have to worry about anything. So boom. So it's just like, when the officer said that, it was just like, you're lying, but okay. So next thing you know, 2 other cop cars pull up. And so they want to search the car. And so me, like I said, I don't have no problem with that. But it's his car, so he lets them search or whatever like that. You guys, we're out there for like 30 minutes. Why? This man had a pound of weed in the car. And he had it hid to where I guess he just assumed that no one would think to, because you will low-key have to tear the car apart in order to get to this particular area. Like, but yeah, so he hid, like, I'm not gonna lie, he did hide it in the like in a nice little hiding spot, but at the same time they found it. So when they found it, they separated us and things like that. So one was, oh, he was already in the cop car because when they ran his name, and he had, he was a felon. And they ran his name, and then they seen that there was a gun in the car. So that's the reason why he was already in the cop car. So they found the weed or whatever like that. So mind you, while he's in the cop car, he could see everything that's going on. They have the door open, so it's like I could see him, he could see me and stuff like that. So they pull the weed out the car and things like that. And what happened? And so they was asking, when they asked out, they was like, who is it? So me, I'm like, well, shit, like, it's not mine. Like, hell, it's not mine. And so he was like, and so the dude told him like, hey, yo, like, that's mine. Like, he was yelling from the car, like, hey, that's mine, this and that, yada, yada, yada. Like, you get what I'm saying? And the officer, while he was like confessing to his stuff, the officer came and closed his door. Like, closed his door and came back and was like, do you know who this belongs to? And this is like, and I was just like, no, like, it's not mine. Like, you know, he just told you what it was for. Like, it's not mine. And so he was like, well, we're going to have to take you in anyway. And I was like, what? And so like, y'all, I have never been to jail before. This is like, I've never been to jail before. So he was like, oh, well, we're going to have to bring you in. And I'm like, why? And so I'm not going to lie, y'all. I don't really know how that junk works and stuff like that. And so, like, so they handcuffed me, they put me in a cop car, and it's like, I'm not really, like, while we're on the way to the station, like, I'm not really worried about. The only thing I'm worried about is the area that we got arrested in is kind of on the racist side. Like, y'all know, like, it's kind of on the racist side. Like, it's mainly kind of hillbilly. Like, kind of hillbilly. That's the only thing that I can say. It's kind of hillbilly. So we got to the station or whatever like that, and me, like, you know, I'm not really worried about it, like, because it's like in my head I'm like, okay, well, I should be clear because he already said that it wasn't mine. Like, I heard him say it wasn't mine, so I know it was his. So, you know, I got my phone call. I called my daddy, and he was like, and I told him the situation that happened, and he was like, oh no, baby, you should be able to sign the paper and they let you go and this and this and that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you know, so boom, go through the whole process. They fingerprint me. I'm waiting in the room. They fingerprint me, take my picture and stuff like that. So while I'm in there, what did they do? Oh yeah, I skipped a whole part. I'm sorry, you guys. So while I was on the phone with my dad, they told me that he told me that I should be able to sign the paper and be able to get out, especially because it was my first time going to jail, and the guy already said that it wasn't mine, it was his. And so he asked to speak to the officer who was behind the desk. So I handed him the phone or whatever, and no, I asked her, I was like, oh, well, my dad is saying that there's a paper that I should be able to sign this. And she was like, no, ma'am, like, they're charging you with something, and so you're gonna have to sit. And so, like, when I told, he was like, what? So my dad asked to speak to her. So so my dad spoke to her and things like that, and she was just telling him, oh, well, I can't give you too much detail, sir. That was really pretty much that she couldn't tell him. And so I'm asking, I'm like, okay, so what did they charge me with? These officers, y'all, like, oh my gosh, we need help. But anywho, so these officers, basically what they did was they separated the charges. So what they did was they charged me for the weed, and they charged him for the gun because he was a felon, you know. So they was trying to basically get us like on a double whammy type shit. Like, they were trying to get, I don't know what the word is for it, but they were trying to get the both of us. So they put the weed charges on me and they put the gun charges on him. Y'all, when I tell you, like, it didn't really hit me until like I got to the back. Like, you know, I'm not gonna lie, it was funny because the lady who was checking me in, like, you know, you gotta get naked and wash with this antibacterial soap. You gotta do this little Papa Squat thing. Like, y'all, like, I was laughing until I got to the back, and it just, like, reality hit me. Like, you know, like, reality hit me, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like I'm really in jail. So the first day, like, me being in there the first day, like, you know, I was like, okay, well, my parents are going to come get me, this and that, like, yada, yada, yada. Like, I wasn't really worried about it. And so the next day I had a virtual, this was all before COVID. So like I said, this was a few years ago. So I had a virtual, I had virtual court, to where like I had to go into this another room, and they were going to tell me what my bond would be. They were going to tell me if I was able to like get it reduced or not and stuff like that. And so went to the virtual court. I told him, like, he told me what was going on. Y'all, why was my bond $150,000? So I was like, what? Like, why is my bond so high? And so like when I was like telling him what was going on, he was like, oh well, your thing is not going to get reduced. You're going to be stuck in here anyway, so why are you even trying to get it reduced? Like, y'all, I was so shocked because, like, not even being funny, like, I'm from the South, so like there's racism like all around. Like, there's racism all around. But it's just like, you never really get over it when people make rude or particular comments to you that you know is in like the racist genre, like, you know. So like he was like, oh well, you're not gonna make bail anyway, so this and this and that, like you're just gonna have to sit here until he was like, you're gonna have to sit here until January and until your court date. And so I was like, what? Like, that don't even sound right. And so from that moment on, y'all, I was devastated. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was devastated. Like, I was crying. It had women in there trying to like comfort me, because they was calling me Black Barbie while I was in jail. If y'all hear that, I don't know what that noise is, but they rude as fuck. But anywho, they was calling me Black Barbie in jail. So when I came back into the room, like, you know how you just make your little, like, because I don't know, like, I guess I could be a little sociable sometimes. But yeah, the girls that was in there who like named me Black Barbie, they was like, oh my gosh, what's wrong? Because I was crying when I came back, because I was just like, they really, like, for one, he didn't reduce my bond. And what bothered me is when you have virtual court, like, you have different people, like, it's not only you, like, it's like 10 other people that's in there. And my last name starts with a V, and so it was so I was last, like, you know, they go into alphabetical order and things like that. So I was listening to all these people that were like before me, and mind you, I'm the only black girl in there. I'm the only black girl in there. It's nothing but white people. And it's sad to say, I'm telling you, it's sad to say, but so I'm just listening to all these people go ahead of me, and their bonds are getting reduced. Like they are 3-count felons, like, you get what I'm saying? Like 3-count felons, their bond is getting reduced to like $100 type stuff, and their bonds are like higher than mine type shit, like, you know. And so I'm like, okay, well, if they got all this going on, I just know I'm gonna get out. But no, that just sure proved me wrong. And like, I was so shocked because, like I said, I never been through no shit like this. Like, this was all new for me or whatever like that. And what was it? Oh yeah. And so I was I was crying and stuff like that, and I was refusing to eat. They were trying to throw me in the suicide under suicide watch because I was refusing to eat and things like that. So when it was time for me to get out, like, let me tell y'all how my parents did me. So my parents were so upset that I was in jail. Like, my parents are like heavy into church. Like, I grew up as a church girl, like very heavily, like went to church every day, like regardless of what it was. Like, I was going to church every day. Like, no school events, no homecoming, no prom, like none of that. Church every day. So I was going to church every day, and so it was just like kind of, I guess it was embarrassing for my parents. Like, I'm assuming it was embarrassing for my parents, and they felt like I needed to learn my lesson. Like, and they left me in there. And so they left me in there because of the type of guy that I was around. But like I said, it was my first date. Like, you know, I didn't really know that he was into all of that, because as far as I knew, he was into construction. Like he wasn't even that type of guy. Like, so I would like, why would I put it in my head that, oh, well, this guy, he would have a pound of weed in his car, let me get in the car, like, you know what I'm saying? So my parents felt like I needed to learn my lesson, y'all. They left me in there. They left me in there. But yeah, like, they left me in there for like 2 weeks. And y'all, when I tell y'all that it was like the worst experience, like, because the place I was at was like, just, I guess it was just like a county jail or whatever like that. So I was in there for my first week. Was I in there for my first week or for my first 2 weeks? I think I was in there for my first 2 weeks, a week and a half. And so between that week and a half, they shipped me off like to a prison, an actual prison, y'all. They shipped me off to an actual prison called Chattanooga, I don't know, Chattanooga, but it was like up north, like towards the Shreveport and Monroe area. Yeah, so it was like a 4-hour drive, but the drive y'all, look, so me, I try to make the best out of everything, I swear. Like, I was about to say that the ride wasn't that bad, but like, I'm not gonna lie, because like, you know, I did see some stuff and things like that, but like, it was a horrible experience. Like, I never ever want to go back to jail. But like like, you know how I met people there, like, it was cool, but it was a bad experience. Like, I would never want to go back to jail, but it wasn't that bad. I feel like the worst part about it was the fact of you know, you gotta do what somebody else is telling you to do every day. Like, I want a Popeyes so bad, and I could not get up and go get Popeyes. Like, y'all, horrible. So anywho, so boom, my parents finally bailed me out after they felt like I learned my lesson. And so the guy that I was with, he was still in there. Y'all, why was this man trying to get me to take his charges for him? Like, first of all, I barely know you. Like, I barely know you. And secondly, why the F would you have that? Like, why would you have that on the first date? Like, I don't get it. Like, why would you have, like, you know, I would understand that, like, you know, we were smoking some and, like, you know, you had just like a little bit or whatever like that, but you had a full pound of weed in the car in a state where it is illegal. And I have to suffer the consequences. Like, y'all, that was terrible. It really was. Like, and then what was crazy, y'all, like, I had lost my job. I had just got a job. Oh my gosh, y'all, I had just got a job at Chase Bank. Oh my gosh, I lost the job before I even got it. Like, y'all, that was the worst experience ever. And then the fact that he had the nerve to even try to ask me to take the charges, like, child, please. But anywho, y'all, yeah, so I had to go to court a couple of times. They dropped all the charges and things like that, and I was a free woman. But I just said all that to say, like, y'all, don't do, like, please, do not do time for a man. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I got out of jail, like, I did stay in, like, when I got out of jail, I did stay in contact with me and him did stay in contact with each other, because, like I said, we had court together and this, that. So, like, that was going on. But once he actually got out of jail, he felt bad, and he gave me some money. He gave me some money. Everything that I spent on bail, he gave it back to me. But after that, I never spoke to him again, because, sir, you really had me in jail. And I also want to say, because there are some women, like, I seen a report yesterday that there was a girl who took 20 years for her boyfriend, like, over the same mess. And I'm just like, no. Like, because at the end of the day, when you take a charge for somebody, they're going to be out there living their best life while you're in there suffering. And the fact that some of them will say, oh, well, I'll put money on your books, I'll take care of you, like, that's a lie. Y'all, that's a lie. And I'm not saying because I don't know what he would have did. I don't know if he would have did it or not. But no. Hell no. But that's the end of the story, you guys. Child. That was the end of the story. And I just want to say, like, you guys, women, beautiful ladies, don't take these charges for these men. Please be smart and ask more questions. Be smarter than me, because like during that time I was younger, like I was in my early 20s, so I was just like, I was in a stage to where I just wasn't asking enough questions, because I feel like that could have been avoided if I probably asked the right questions and I didn't. And not only that, if you can drive and bring yourself to wherever it is, do that as well. Do that as well, because I just thought that it would be sweet. And like, you know, I like that thing when a guy like I'm a girl like that, to where I like a guy to pull up and, like, you know, come knock on the door, flowers, open my door, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I like the whole shebang. I like to be treated. And he did do his stuff, but that one little thing just ruined the whole thing. We could have been soulmates, and God showed me otherwise. But thank you guys for watching my story time, and peace.